Hi, my name is Mike and I am one of the in-house consultants here at the Profs. And in today's video, I get to talk about Imperial, more specifically, how to get onto their MSc in computing. We've talked about Imperial on this channel quite a lot with a variety of different computing degrees, but this one is a little bit special. And I would argue in some cases, even though it's a postgraduate course, it's still one of the most competitive courses to be able to get on within computer science or within computing out there. It's also very, very important to distinguish that you should not be going for this course if you already have a degree in computer science. This is for the people who want to get into computer science that haven't done that as their main undergraduate subject. So if that applies to you and you want to get a better understanding of how to get onto this course, I'm going to introduce some tips here in this video that will help to boost your application. Now, my first tip is make sure that when you are applying for this course, you know what stream you're applying for. Now, that sounds like a little bit of a strange thing to suggest for a course like this, but actually, when you actually search for this course online, you might see that after the name of the degree, there's sometimes brackets that follow it. So one of the streams, for instance, is artificial intelligence and machine learning, topics that we've talked about plenty in videos on this channel. But you have to already specify, if you're going in for a computing degree at Imperial, what stream you want to do. And that actually has a massive effect on not only the optional modules that you can choose between, but then also the compulsory modules that you take. So really, really think about this question carefully. Maybe weigh some of the pros and cons, look at the different course structures, look at the different sort of places where people are graduated to via LinkedIn, for instance, and other work-related websites. And then after you've done that, make a decision on what course you specifically want to apply for, and then think about how you're going to create an application for that course. Now, my next tip following that is actually something to help boost your application. Is to make sure that you're really, really actively engaged with research. Now, with every single master's project, or every single master's degree rather, I'm getting ahead of myself, there is a research project involved that you have to do as a compulsory part of that degree. And if I'm an admissions person and I see nothing in the personal statement in relation to your research experience, then I'm going to be questioning whether perhaps this course is right for you, or maybe even other computer science master's degrees. So I would be looking like open source projects that you can find online. There's a lot of them that are advertised via lots of different websites. I possibly would be thinking if I've done any MOOCs or online courses, have there been any particular project elements of that demonstrate my research capabilities? Even more basic than that, your dissertation. If you're in your final year, you've been working on that very, very solidly, or will be working on it solidly, depending on the time that you're watching this video. Now, what are you researching within that? How is that demonstrating your research aptitude? And what are your particular interests that are coming out? Maybe going back to the idea about streams, that forms a particular opinion or forms a particular narrative of you going for a particular stream for this degree. So really reflect on your experiences and use those to reflect on the strengths that you want to bring out in your application. Talking about strengths as well, given it is Imperial and most of their courses are quantitative, especially computer science, we need strong mathematical abilities. We can't get away from talking about, strong technical skills, a little bit of an exposure to linear algebra, optimization, calculus, like for statistics, for instance. Again, if we were looking at the machine learning route, those skills might change a little bit depending on what route you're taking. So really, really look into the courses that are on offer in that degree, and then make sure that you are able to connect mathematics to what they are offering. Regardless of what stream you're going for, I would like to see somebody that is confident with their mathematical abilities to be able to survive well on the course. Okay, now my next tip is a little bit of an unusual one, is make sure that you reach out to alumni from Imperial with these courses. Given that there are so many courses on offer that you can take in so many streams, going back to this idea that you can go on LinkedIn and you can actually see where people have worked, it's probably better to actually just reach out to people directly and say, hey, I'm interested in actually studying computing at Imperial. I'm looking at this stream. Can you tell me about the benefits, particularly of doing this course? How did you find it being a student on this course? Now, that is invaluable information that goes very, very well on an application. And that level of networking in particular, if you want to go into work or the job industry of some kind, it's so transferable to anything that you do. You might as well practice it here. But that also allows you to be able to write about particular benefits with Imperial that no one else is writing about. You're not going to be one of those people that says, I like Imperial being in London because it connects to lots of other businesses. You might instead be one of these people that would say something like, I am interested in researching at a university like Imperial as it houses close collaborations with a particular tech company that I am interested in. So that's a much stronger narrative than actually saying instead that you just like the location because you like the business of where you are. So you always want to be, whenever you're talking about your love for a university, writing what you like about it, but write about it from experience of other people. That's going to be really, really key to making you stand out in an application. And my final tip with applying for a university like this, you want to be thinking about your long-term objectives. They want people who are going to be game changers, whether that be in research or whether that actually be in the world of work. So it's not enough to say that you want to do a computing degree because you think it will better your skills. You should be thinking you want to go for an MSc in computing because you want to be able to platform yourself into the profession of your dreams. But I want to know how you're going to get there. So that's going to require a 5-year career plan, sometimes even with a school like Imperial, a backup career plan. How are you? And it's not necessarily going for a different route. It's more so, I still want to be this in the long term. Maybe I still want to be a senior software developer in the future. But I maybe, just in case my route for university doesn't happen, if I don't get onto this degree, I might instead be looking at gaining some professional qualifications. And then I might reach out to other companies and go through a bit more of the grind in an entry-level position to be able to reach that point. But regardless of how I get there, I'm still one day going to be a senior software developer. So the long-term goal is what really matters, but I want to know how you're going to get there, whether that be with your 5-year career plan, as well as whether that be with your backup plan. So offer some flexibility for that long-term goal. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear some discussions from you. Otherwise, if you think that this video is going to be useful for your friends or family, please share it. If you've liked it, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to get in touch with a tutor like me or any one of our subject experts on this, then please have a look at the information on screen and make sure you get in contact. And as always, best of luck with your application.